3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to this here podcast. I'm your host. We're going to be doing this every Friday. And today's first episode, this is an NBA fucking podcast too, so if you're here for soccer, you can fucking leave. Episode 1, we're doing the overs and unders. And we're going to start off with the Nets. Las Vegas has them projected to have 56.5 wins by the end of the season. A person that isn't me would say they're going over. They're a 60-win team. But nope, they're going under. I do not see them hitting 57 plus wins. Kevin Durant and James Harden and Kyrie Irving have very little left to prove in their careers that they could prove in the regular season. I think they're coasting. I think Kyrie Irving is probably going to get shipped, and if he doesn't, there's a big question mark there. He's going to be missing a lot of games regardless how this whole vaccination situation turns out. And I'm just going to say they could win the title. They might even be the favorites. But 57 wins? No. So I'm going to take the under on the Nets. Moving down, the Bucks. 54.5. I can see the logic. The Nets are better than the Bucks. If the Nets aren't hitting 57, why would the Bucks hit 55? Well, because the Bucks, they give a fuck about the regular season. They've shown it time and time again. Bucks, book it, 60-win team this year. And the 1 seed. Bucks are going to have 60 to 62 wins. The 1 seed. Giannis is going to be a top 3 MVP candidate, top 3 Defensive Player of the Year candidate. They're going to have a top 3 3-point shooting team in the league and a top 3 defense in the league. You can pretty much count on all that shit, and you can definitely count on them getting 55 plus wins, barring injury. The 76ers, 51.5. So, do you think they're going to hit 52 wins? You know, they were the 1 seed last year. Why wouldn't they hit 51 wins? I'm going to tell you why. Because the Ben Simmons situation is the opposite of resolved. Right? You look at Ben Simmons returning. He's not coming to Philadelphia to play basketball. Ben Simmons is coming to Philadelphia to get paid. Like, I hear people talking about, like, oh, he's going to show up and show out, and the 76ers are going to want him back, but then they're just going to trade. No. He's going to fucking show up, and I would not be surprised if you saw that guy fucking walk back on defense. Like, not even jog, fucking walk back halfway through the play, bend down, tie his shoes, fucking start talking to the ref about where he's going over the weekend. Like, literally, that guy is going to have 0 fucks to give. He's going to that game to get his paycheck. He's not going there to win. He's not going there to raise his draft value or his trade value. He's literally just going there to fill his end of the contract. And there's no part of his contract that says you have to exert this many fucking calories, you have to score this many points, get this many assists. It's like, no. I have to show up and be ready to play. And that's all he's going to do. The Knicks, 42.5, is basically saying, are they more than a 500 team or less than a 500 team? Give me the New York Knicks going over. I'm a big fan of that squad. Through and through. Last year was not a fluke. The Knicks are a good-ass team. I'm not calling them a contender by any stretch, but that doesn't mean they can't do a lot of damage, and they're definitely going to be over 500. So give me the Knicks going over. And now the Celtics at 46.5. I've had faith in them too much, and you put all your fucking faith and you put all your hope in them, and then you get reminded they have 2 great fucking wings with all the potential in the world, and that's about fucking it. I would bet that the Knicks and the Celtics are within 1 game of each other, or the Knicks have a better record than the Celtics. The Bulls, 43.5 wins projected. They got a squad. That starting 5 is a real fucking squad. That's not a 500 team. That is they could hit 47 wins. But they have a lot of shit to figure out. I think the first order of business is going to be just Zach LaVine's mentality needs to be changed. Not really changed, but he has to accept, all right, we're going to be winning games, and I'm going to have to be the leader. I'm going to have to be the driving force in that. I am the number 1 option. This is my team. This is what the fuck we're doing. And he's got to own that and accept that, and I think he can, and I think that everyone else, all the other pieces can fall in place, but I don't think that's going to happen overnight. I don't think that's going to happen next week. I think that's going to take time before everyone's comfortable and the team really has its identity and its fucking chemistry going. and then they can make their moves. They can make trade deadline trades. What the fuck am I saying? They can make moves. They can reorchestrate, but they're still figuring out who they are. They're good. I think the world knows that. I think they know that, but nobody knows what the fuck they are, and that starts with them. And it's probably going to look a little bit ugly at the beginning of the season. The Wizards, I got them here too. 33.5. Give me the over. I have a lot of faith in that Wizards team. Bradley Beal is a fucking stud. He's always overrated, then underrated, then overrated, then underrated. I was just hearing Bill Simmons' podcast talking about how, Bradley Beal is like the fourth option on a championship team. You could construct a roster where Bradley Beal is going to have the most points per game, and that is a fucking deadly-ass championship team. I'm just saying that. Moving on. Oh, no, not quite moving on. Also, Kyle Kuzma is definitely should be on the radar for a most improved player candidate. We've seen it all the time, like damn near every fucking guy that's started out in the Lakers young in these last few years, moved out, and now they're fucking like all-stars. And Kyle Kuzma, originally when Brandon Ingram got traded to the Pelicans, Kyle Kuzma had more value than Brandon Ingram. Like, we can't just forget that. Like, they were pretty much averaging the same numbers, and the Pelicans were like, we want Kuzma, and the Lakers were like, no. We're keeping Kuzma, you can have Brandon Ingram. And then Ingram was an all-star, right? And so I would not be surprised if now he's not playing compliment LeBron James, he's playing his ball, right? The coach is going to find his identity, help him play a role that fits what he does, and he's playing alongside. There's some studs on that team. The over is if they hit 34 wins. I can easily see they could be a fucking play-in 7th, 8th seed, 38, 39 win team. I like them. Alrighty, sorry about that. I'm back, and now we're on to the Western Conference. We're going to start off with the top, Golden State Warriors. My bookie has them at 48.5, and that's an easy under. They're not hitting 49 wins. Fuck no. Steph Curry is he's an all-time great in my book already. But that team is not a 50-win team. I'm sorry. The Lakers. 53.5. They have the capabilities to be a 60-win team. They have depth out the ass. I'm going to go over. I just don't... LeBron James, these last few years have been some of his most injury-ridden years, and he's only getting older. It should not be a surprise if he misses 15 or 20 games this year. That should almost be expected. Anthony Davis is in that same boat. All that being said, they have like 50 players on that roster that are serviceable NBA players. It's 40% physical, 60% mental, and every single player in that locker room knows they're going for the title. Like, they have the mental. They're all going to be locked in. You could literally watch them fucking smoke the Bucks with AD, LeBron, and Russell Westbrook all sitting out. Just because all of those players are like, they're all going to be playing hard. Even if they're not fucking all-stars or superstar caliber players, they have a ton of talent, and they're going to have the right mentality. So I think 54 wins, they'll hit. Jazz, 52.5. That's the easiest money you'll ever make. Give me the over. So you're saying they have 10 more wins, 10 more games to get the same amount of wins as last year, and they've gotten better? Last year, Donovan Mitchell missed the last quarter of the season. Like, what the fuck? I don't see any world where they get less wins than they got last year in the shortened season. They're 100%. They're a 60-win team. No one takes them seriously. And so they're still in that mentality of like, yeah, we have something to prove. At the end of the day, they're 100% going to hit the over. That is that's a given. The Nuggets at 48, that's a push. And now I'll agree with the under, but by under, they're a 45-win team you don't want to see in the playoffs. That's like a category I've made. Making this list, there's like contenders, there's weak contenders, and there's 45 win teams you don't want to see in the playoffs. Nuggets fit that boat. Heat fit that boat. The Hawks fit that boat. I think the Knicks are going to be in that boat. I digress. Nuggets at 48 wins, give me the under. Suns, 51.5. Easy. That's the exact... They got that many wins last year. They're going to have 10 more games to do that. And it's not a fluke. Like, the Suns get disrespected. At the end of the day, Ayton is he's a stud. Booker's a stud. They have 3-and-D wings out the ass. Versatility, scoring, defense. They've got it all. And then running the show, they have Chris Paul, the most intelligent mind in basketball. If you have fucking 20 seconds left and it's a tie game, if the fucking world is on the line, that is the guy I want making the decision on the court for me. And they have that guy running the show. So 100% Suns are breaking 51. Pelicans are 39.5. They're a 500 team. They're going to hit 41 to 43. But I can see them clearing that 40, and I like them clearing that 40. I like their roster. They're better than they were last year. They've got the youth. They've got experience. They've got more of an identity, And Valanciunas, he's going to fit right into that mold. I like what they're doing there. They're a 500 win team. Grizzlies, I don't like. I think they're going to be below 500. It's 41.5. I like them as a team, but are they going to hit 42 wins? I don't think so. It's the Ja Morant bet, and I don't bet Ja Morant is a fucking above 500 team. The Mavericks. Now, this one might be controversial. 48.5 wins. Is this a 50? You're basically saying, is this a 50-win team? Are the Dallas Mavericks a 50-win team? No. If you saw the Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury fight, Luka Doncic reminds me of Deontay Wilder. Which Deontay Wilder, incredible career. You look back at his fucking stats, unbelievable. That dude, outside of Tyson Fury, every fucking fight he's got in is a knockout pretty much. Deontay Wilder gets the job done in 3 rounds. He goes in there and fucking right off rip, he comes out sprinting and wins the fight right off rip. That's Luka Doncic. He comes out, the first quarter, he's the greatest basketball player you've ever seen. But he doesn't pace himself. It's in the fucking, if he doesn't knock you out in the first 3 quarters, then you're going to kick his ass in the 4th quarter. He disappears. He tires himself out. They had the fucking greatest offense, and he can initiate that. I could just be a hater. And maybe they just need some more defensive presence, better rim protector down low, maybe Porzingis. I could be wrong, but when I watch it, it just doesn't look conducive to a fucking 50-win team. It's Luka on his own, and he's good for 3 rounds. And we're going to call that the show. Thank you and good night.